Welcome to All Things Finance in just a few minutes, and in this week's edition, we will be covering the Monthly Budget Tracker Volume 1. Now, this tracker is meant for those that do not want to download an app and enter their personal information, but rather take 30 minutes out of their day once a month to track their finances throughout the year. The best part about this tracker is as you update your information, everything is calculated for you. So you'll see that the total capital calculation and the total net worth calculation will be updated as you enter your information, and that information each month will be displayed on a chart, which is on the Summary tab. Just a few housekeeping items before we begin. For ease of updating, I would advise downloading this file from the link provided and uploading it to Google Drive. Since these files will be stored in the cloud, you can then download the Google Drive or the Google Sheets app to make updating this file easier on mobile. So let's get started. So you see all of the line items in column B separated by income and expense. Now I have 3 different columns here because I have 3 different accounts. If you only have one account to track, then simply just collapse these columns. So for simplicity, let's just update one column. So here you enter the name of the account you're tracking. Now if this is your first time tracking your finances, this beginning balance number should be the dollar amount in your bank account on the last day of the previous month. Let's say I work for company XYZ and I get paid twice a month, $1,000 each paycheck, then I'll enter $2,000. Let's say I had a rental property and I had income coming from a business, then you would want to update this for your rental income. But keep in mind that any business related activities should be entered into a different bank account. It is good practice to keep your business accounts separate from your personal accounts for liability protection as well as tax efficiencies. But for this example, we will keep it simple and keep one account. Once you're finished with entering your income, you move on to your expenses. For me, I have 3 types of expenses. I have home expenses, student loans, and other. Feel free to update these buckets with whatever kind of expenses you have. So let's go through and enter my mortgage, enter my water bill, enter my internet service, and enter my gas bill. Next, I will enter my student loans. Here, you would enter all of your student loans if you have any. So other expenses, let's say for example, I want to save $20 a month. We enter that. And notice that the savings account is automatically updated here. I typically route my savings to a high interest savings account where I'm earning 2% on my money instead of 0.1%, but that we will discuss later. Next, enter your cell phone bill. Enter your total credit card payments, which should be entered below. Enter all of your credit cards. If you have one credit card, just enter that one minimum payment. And now we see that all of our total expenses are entered, and what's left over for the month, which is called the net income for the month, is $580. We had $2,000 of income, $1,420 of expense, which leaves us with $580. The ending balance for the month is $580 because we started the month with $0. So beginning balance plus the net income for the month equals the ending balance. Now for account balance, we will pull the balance on the last day of that month after all of these expenses and income items have flown through the account. In our example, that number should be $580. So as we update $580, we have a built-in check that makes sure that what we calculated above agrees to what is in our bank account. The amount is 0, so we know nothing is missing. Next, let's go up to savings account. Now you will update the savings account in the same fashion that you updated the checking account. Pulling the beginning balance from the last day of the previous month. Let's say that was $20. You already included your savings, moved from your checking to your savings account. You will include any transfer ins other than your savings. You will include any transfer outs. In this case, let's say I took $10 out of my savings. You will include any interest. Let's say I have $1 of interest. The net income for the month for your savings account is $11. The ending balance for your savings account is the beginning balance of $20 plus the net income of $11 is $31. You will update the account balance for for the amount of funds in your account on that last day of the month. After all this activity has gone through, that number should be 31. So now we see that the check, it says 0, and we know we're not missing any amounts. So now that your checking and savings account information is updated, let's review the total capital account. So in this example, we have one bank account that has $611, which is the savings account plus the checking account. If you have any other accounts, these are already linked for you. So just update those names, update the amounts, and those amounts will be pulled in here. So if you want to track your change in capital from the beginning of the year, simply enter in the dollar value on the last day of the prior year to track the change from the beginning of the year. So the last step is to update your outstanding liability. In this case, we only have student loan debt. In the month of January, we paid $100 to our student loans, but we have total outstanding debt of $10,000. So update that amount here. And as you updated that, you see that your total net worth has been calculated. So now that you've entered all your information for the month, let's look at the summary tab. Current year capital is being pulled from cell L24. L24 here. And your current year net worth is being pulled from L38. The last step here is to update your name in the chart if you would like. And there you have it. You just performed a net worth calculation for the month. So next week, we will roll out additional versions to this tracker, as well as show you how to roll it over from one month to the next. Thank you for subscribing, and see you next week.